What's going on, everybody? John Spanky Stokes here, and I'm doing something a little bit different today. So I've been really focused on watching what Pop Mart is doing with their Labubu brand, and being involved with this community for almost 20 years now. I've seen companies and artists basically just come into the scene and then fizzle out. And what's interesting to me, it's actually really fascinating, is to watch a brand like Pop Mart with their IP Labubu just crazy rise. And now we're seeing kind of a, not fizzle out, but just kind of a slowly cooling off period is what I'd like to say. And I've been doing a lot of looking into it, lots of research, put together some graphs and kind of a story of Labubu and where they are at and where they're going. And honestly, I'd like to know what your opinions are. So do me a favor, like, subscribe, share this video, and more importantly, tell me what you guys think in the comments below at the end of the video. Where you think Pop Mart is going with this? Where do you think Labubu is going to be? Are you a collector? What do you guys think? I'd love to know your thoughts, and I hope that you like this new video kind of format I'm doing. It was fun to put together. It took a lot of time, so please do like, do share, do subscribe, and let's go ahead and just jump right into this. I hope you enjoy. Remember when getting a Labubu felt almost impossible? People were lining up outside Pop Mart stores before they opened. Online drops disappeared in minutes. Resellers were asking ridiculous prices. TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube were packed with unboxings, collecting videos, and people showing Labubu hanging from expensive bags. For a while, it felt like this strange little monster had completely taken over, but now, things feel a little bit different. Some releases stay in stock, some secondary market prices have fallen hard, the lines are not always as crazy, search buzz has cooled, and even Pop Mart's newest financial results show that the Monsters is no longer carrying the same percentage of the company that it did at the height of the craze. So did Labubu fail? I don't think Labubu failed per se, but I do think the hype machine failed to keep growing forever. And now we finally have enough numbers to see why. Before the craziness, Labubu was an art character. Casing Lung created the Monsters world in 2015, drawing from the Nordic fairy tales that influenced him growing up. Pop Mart signed an exclusive licensing agreement with him in 2019, and the first series reportedly broke Pop Mart's art toy sales record. Then the character slowly changed categories. Labubu was no longer just a vinyl figure sitting on a shelf. The plush pendants made Labubu wearable. You could clip one into a purse, a backpack, a designer bag. Suddenly, people who had never collected art toys could participate, and social media was perfect for it. Blind boxes already create a second moment of excitement after the purchase. You buy it, then you open it, and then you show everyone what you pulled. It's so much fun. Add celebrities into the mix, fashion, scarcity, and secret editions, and the result was basically a perfect viral loop. And the financial rise was insane. In 2023, the Monsters generated about $51 million for Pop Mart and represented only 5.8% of the company's revenue. Fast forward to 2024, that jumped to about $424 million, up more than 726% in a single year. That's just insane. And then 2025 happened. The Monsters exploded to about $1.98 billion in revenue. That was another 365.7% jump, and it represented 38.1% of everything Pop Mart sold. Think about that. One character family went from less than 6% of the company revenue in 2023 to nearly 40% just 2 years later. That is not normal growth. That is a cultural explosion. At the peak, scarcity actually became part of the product. Not finding Labubu made people want Labubu more. Sold out signs created headlines. High resale prices made retail price feel cheap. Seeing somebody pay 2 or 3 times retail made everyone think they had better buy now before prices went even higher. Serious FOMO. And this is where collecting started crossing into speculation. The question changed from, do I love this character? To, what is this going to be worth? That can make a market grow incredibly fast. It can also make the fall much faster. A May 2026 analysis of 3 sealed Labubu cases traded on StockX found they had reached peak premiums of roughly 195% to 579% over retail. That's just crazy. By the time of the study, those same types of cases were trading 24 to 54% below retail. And that's a massive swing. The same study points to another major turning point. In August 2025, Pop Mart announced roughly a 10-fold increase in monthly plush production capacity. And from a normal buyer's perspective, that sounds great. More Labubus, fewer bots, fewer resellers, less frustration, right? But from a hype perspective, it changes the equation completely. Scarcity created the frenzy. More supply helped kill the scarcity. Business Insider looked at ComScore web traffic data and found a sharp drop in visits to Pop Mart's website after the big September 2025 restock. There was a holiday bump and then traffic fell hard again in early 2026. Now, to be fair, some of that traffic may simply have moved offline. By May of 2026, Pop Mart had more than 65 stores in the United States, and the company has continued opening physical stores and robo-shops around the world. But that is also part of the story. Labubu became easier to get. And once something becomes easier to get, the fear of missing out, or FOMO, gets much weaker. So check this out. The newest numbers make the cooldown even clearer. During the first half of 2026, the monsters generated about $621 million. That's still enormous, but it represented 26% of Pop Mart's revenue, down from 34.7% during the same period a year earlier. That's an 8.7 percentage point drop in share. Pop Mart itself is still growing. Total company revenue rose 23.8% in the first half of 2026 to about $2.39 billion. That's just crazy. But growth was much slower than the explosive pace investors had gotten used to. The Wall Street Journal reported that the first half revenue growth came in below market expectations, and that CEO Wang Ying said the company would probably miss its original 20% full-year growth target. The journal also reported that overseas revenue fell 11% year over year. So when people say, where did the Labubu hype go? There is now real data behind that feeling. It did cool. So you guys aren't wrong, but I think there are 5 reasons why. Number 1, too much supply. Pop Mart did what customers were begging them to do. They made more product, but the side effect was removing the scarcity premium that made every drop feel like an event. And I feel like this is the case for every hype company. Number 2, the reseller bubble popped. Once collectors realized that not every Labubu was automatically going to double or triple in value, speculation buyers had less reason to chase every release. Number 3, repetition. Once every month brings another pendant, another colorway, another collaboration, and another blind box, even great designs can start feeling less special. Number 4, attention moved. In the first half of 2026, Pop Mart's Twinkle Twinkle generated about $370 million and grew a massive 580% year over year. That doesn't mean people suddenly hate Labubu. It means Pop Mart now has other characters competing for the same wallets, shelf space, and social media attention. And number 5, the economy and the hype cycle simply caught up. Collectibles are discretionary spending. When money feels tighter, buying your 7th plush pendant becomes easier to skip than buying your first. All that being said, here's why I'm still positive. This is not the story of a dead brand. Pop Mart generated about $2.3 billion in the first half of 2026, up 23.8%. Its plush category grew 60% to about $1.37 billion. The company had expanded to 676 physical stores and 2,827 robo-shops globally. That's just crazy. And in mainland China alone, Pop Mart reported a member repurchase rate of 51.6%. Those are not the numbers of a company everybody abandoned. They are the numbers of a company moving from once in a generation viral spike into a much more difficult phase, trying to turn hype into long-term fandom. And honestly, this might be healthier for Labubu. Look at Hello Kitty, Pokemon, Mickey Mouse. None of these characters stay at maximum hype forever. They have peaks, they have quieter years, they reinvent themselves. The new generation discovers them. The real test for Labubu is not whether every release sells out in 30 seconds. The real test is whether people still care about Labubu 10 years from now. So here's what I think. This is what I think Pop Mart should do. First, slow down just enough to make releases feel special again. I'm not saying manufacture fake shortages. I actually like being able to buy something at retail. But there's a difference between accessibility and flooding the market. Second, go back to look at the story. Casing Lung built an entire world around the monsters. Give us more of that world. Books, animations, short films, artist-driven pieces, exhibitions, more reasons to care about who Labubu is instead of only which color Labubu is. And I feel like they've done a pretty good job about the exhibitions and things like that, but just keep building off of that. And third, create the next format instead of endlessly repeating the pendant formula. The plush pendant was powerful because it changed how people interacted with the character. What's the next version of that? Who knows? But I know that Pop Mart can figure that out. And fourth, let's protect the collector, you and I. Fight counterfeits, improve distribution, reward loyal customers, give longtime collectors releases that feel thoughtful instead of making everything about chasing the next viral moment. And fifth, let the other Pop Mart characters grow too. Ironically, the best way to protect Labubu might be to stop asking Labubu to carry the entire company. A healthy Pop Mart with multiple successful characters gives the monsters room to breathe. And that brings me back to the big question. Did Labubu fail? No, not at all. The frenzy failed to last forever. That is totally different. Some people who were only here for resale profits are leaving. Some casual buyers are moving to the next trend. But the collectors, the ones who genuinely love Casing Lung's work, the design, the weird smile, the stories, and the community, they're all still here. And maybe that is exactly what Labubu needs. Less panic, less flipping, more collecting. So now, I want to hear from all of you. When did you first discover Labubu? Did the hype pull you in, or were you collecting before things went crazy? Do you think Pop Mart made way too many Labubus, or are you happy that you can finally buy them without fighting bots and resellers? And what would genuinely make you excited again? A new ARC figure series, a proper animated series, more Casing Lung storytelling, a movie? Or do you think Labubu already had its moment and another Pop Mart character is ready to take over? Well, there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that this video kind of gives you somewhat of a new perspective about what's going on, what's happening with Pop Mart Labubu. Do me a huge favor and just drop your thoughts in the comments, because I really want to know where you as collectors stand right now. You know, for me, the hype may have cooled a little bit, but Labubu has basically earned a spot, a permanent place in, you know, designer toy history. And sometimes, like, you know, the end of the hype is where the real collecting begins. And for me, my collection back here, like, I collect. I'm not here to like collect stuff and then sell it off because of the hype. I'm here for the long haul. I love the way this stuff looks. And I know there's a lot of Labubu collectors out there who do the same thing. Will collect because they love this little creature that was created. And that's kind of the fun of collecting for me. I'm not one to go out and take something and flip it for money. I know some do. It's your prerogative. But yeah, drop a comment below. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already yet, please subscribe. And I appreciate you guys watching this. Until next time.